Episode 29, Winded City Countdown. I am Scott Sternal. I'm joined with Ben Russo, and he's in his basement. And I'm also joined with Matt Urich, who wishes really badly he was in his basement more than ever before in his life.
But I'm hanging out with Yoda. We got, life's going good to a certain extent.
Good is a very strong word for you there, Urich, I think.
Life's okay.
Life, as in you're alive right now.
Yeah.
I'm okay to make fun of this situation you're in because I've talked to the person you're staying with this week about this situation the last time he was here, and he was very open about his lifestyle choices.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Just no care in the world. So, anyways, we're here, Winded City Countdown. We're at episode 29. Later tonight, we're going to record episode 30, our top 10 NBA draft bust of all time, which should be fun to discuss. But looking at the weekly, not too much going on. I've said it, I think, the last 3 weeks, but this is a worse month than March or than February on the sports calendar, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Well,
especially when your teams are out of it in the NBA and NHL postseason, it is not good.
Yeah, at least in February we had as bad as the Bulls were, it was at least discussion points, and the Hawks
were playing.
The Hawks were playing,
and we're gearing up for the Cubs and White Sox, which is fun, and the Super Bowl had just ended, and that's fun. So. Lots of good stuff going on. I should probably mute my TV because I got the Cubs on in the background here. They got a 3-1 lead, and we'll start there. We'll start with the Cubs. Look at that segue. That's professionalism right there at its best. They're on a little bit of a slide, Ben, and yet it's an embarrassment of riches because right now, as this game is playing out, they've got a 5.5 game lead on the Pirates. So even in spite of losing 7 of 11, they're still potentially coming out of tonight at losing 7 of 12, but holding a 6-game lead on the Pirates and an 8-game lead on the Cardinals. Any concern, Ben?
No, not yet. I mean, obviously, I kind of give myself, especially with the lead they got off to, I kind of give myself like a 30-minute grace period of being angry at a loss. If they lose a game, especially just some of the loss that they've had, just the continuing of runners on third base, less than 1 out or less than 2 outs, and they still can't find a way to get these guys in. Those are the kind of losses that I hate. If it's just a bad pitching night and you get your butt kicked, that's fine. But it's
like Saturday night when Lester got shelled. It was all right. Well, that's just gonna happen.
Happened. Yeah, it's you get the 1-0 losses yesterday. Granted, it was against probably a top 5-6 pitcher in baseball, but you go back to that Milwaukee series, losing 2 of 3 there, all the way back to that Padres series, losing both of those both games in the doubleheader. Those are just stupid little things, and those are the things I get mad about. But at the end of the day, they're still in first place. They still have, currently a 5.5 game, hopefully a 6-game lead still after today. They said it all along. They're not going to play 800 baseball all year, but it doesn't make losing any easier. And plus, still, as a Cubs fan, it's still in the back of my head, is this thing going to collapse? Is this, are we going to really lose this lead? Because, Pittsburgh's a good team, and they're showing it. So I don't think Pittsburgh's going anywhere. But, I'm not that worried about it. I still think they need bullpen help as much as anything. But, that'll come, a month or 2 down the road. So.
For sure, and that's going to take me into, you talk about the Cubs and always there's that pit in your stomach, when's the bottom going to fall out? And here we are Friday night, and Jason Heyward makes a spectacular catch. That'll probably end up being a top 5 catch of the year, I would think. And I just immediately am going, are you shitting me? Is this really happening? Matt, you were at work, I believe, correct?
I had just gotten off of work, and I was heading over to a buddy's house. You guys texted me. Well, I got in the group text, you guys were like, oh no, Hayward, oh shit, whatever.
I believe my exact text to you was fuck.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. So of course I get to my buddy's house, hurry up, get on Twitter. Of course it's all over the tweets galore about it. And then I finally saw the video, maybe within 5 minutes of it happening, and I was terrified. To me, initially, I mean, obviously, amazing catch, like like you said, a top 5 catch this year, if not better. My initial worry was his shoulder, the way that he hit the wall, but then you saw the way that his body contorted there, and then obviously now they said it was a. What did they technically say?
Hip contusion.
Hip contusion?
No, I think it's rib.
Yeah, because I thought that he had said he felt his hip hit his ribs.
Rib. Yeah.
Which that's a terrifying thing to even think about. Gross, but yeah, it's one of those things that Jason Heyward it was almost a too good for his own good, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah.
That he was able to even get to that ball and to make that play. I mean, it was an amazing play, but a scary one. But he said today, Monday, that he felt like he could play today, but they're obviously letting him sit a little while still.
Yeah, and this is going to go to Ben, who you were all over it on Twitter. People suggesting that Heyward needs to let up on that play, and you are very against it, as am I. I think anybody that thinks that these athletes, even for a second, that's just it's athletic instinct, right? Like Jason Heyward's going, I can get this ball, and I'm going to go get this ball. And he's not sitting here on every catch thinking, but if I go catch this ball, there's a chance I might be out, and the pennant race might be over then, and we're going to be down. Like, none of that's going through his head. I feel like that was your stance, Ben. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, that and the point where they're just saying, oh, he just needs to be smarter. I mean, forget all that other stuff, but, like, their argument was, oh, he just needs to be smarter to not risk injury, like, down the road. Like, I understand, to an extent, I understand what you're saying, but you're talking about a guy who's a Gold Glove outfielder, arguably the best right fielder in baseball, at least defensively. In fact, I don't even think that's arguable. I think he clearly is the best defensive right fielder. I mean, this is one of the biggest reasons why you signed Jason Heyward, so he can make those kind of plays. This isn't, end of the season. You have, your spots locked in again in the playoffs. You're going against the Brewers, who have like 60 wins. Like, at that point, sure, I can say, okay, take it easy there. I'm not going to fault him for going after the ball, but this is against a team who you're probably going to be fighting with for home field advantage the whole season. You don't have anything locked up yet to sit here and be like, oh, he just needs to be smarter. Like, it was a playable ball. Like, he made the catch, so I don't understand where you're sitting there coming in saying, oh, he shouldn't. You're telling me he shouldn't have made the catch? Is that what we're saying? This wasn't like Adam Eaton a couple years ago with the White Sox when he ran face first into a fence on a ball that landed 10 rows up, being a home run. Like, just absolutely no reason to go do that. That's not what Jason Heyward did. He saw a ball that he could get to, and he got to it. And that kind of thing happens. I mean, this goes back to even Schwarber at the beginning of the season, where people say, "Oh, you just need to be smarter in the outfield." What do you want him to do? He's running after a ball. He's doing his job.
Right. That's what you pay your outfilders to do. You pay them to
like
go
at this. What do you want? Like, what do you want them to do? Like, let the ball land and then chase after it? Like, is that what we're going to ask outfielders to do now? Like, not go and catch it. Just, all right, let's let it land and then I'll play it so I don't get hurt. Like, no. I mean, again, I'm not going to sit here and say that he saved the game with, what was the first out of the game, but if he misses that, that's probably an inside the park home run at that point.
Yeah.
And, I'm not going to sit here and say that they win the game, but I mean, all of a sudden it's 1-0, and who knows? The game's played differently. So yeah. I don't understand it. I don't understand why somebody would say, "Oh, he just needs to pull up and play it off the wall." Like, he made the out. What do you want him to do? He did his job.
Matt, you got anything to add on that topic?
Yeah, to echo Ben's sentiments there. I mean, when that ball was hit, I'm 100% sure there was never a thought in his mind where he said, well, I don't know, I might hit that wall and get hurt. It's instincts. It's a player. Players do that. It's the same as if you see a guy dive into the stands, or you saw Rizzo hop up on the tarp last year and make that incredible play. I mean, you're doing whatever you can to get the out. So anybody who thinks it was a bad decision on his part, it's the after the fact, the Monday morning quarterback thing there. So he did what he needed to do.
And just on the flip side of it, I mean, think about what people complained about for Starlin Castro last year. He didn't try. He didn't give it 100% on every play. He didn't run out those ground balls. He didn't give that, that dumb
passion
statement,
and
the 110%. Like, he didn't do that. Now you have a guy who does it, so now you're complaining that he does give 110%. Like,
TWTW, Ben.
come on, people, let's pick a side. This, like, you can't yell at somebody for trying too hard and then yell at somebody for not trying hard enough. Like, figure out what side of the what side you want to be on and go with it. So,
agreed. So, all this happens, and that 5.5 game lead is in jeopardy all of a sudden because of a 2-run homer by Adams here as we're watching this. So it's now 3-3 in the 8th. So we'll see where that ends up. On the other side of town, you got the White Sox, who they're in a dip of their own, and they're not winning unless Chris Sale's throwing a complete game shutout. There, I've got some concern. I've got some real concern over there that it's starting to come back to earth for them.
Yeah, I think it's the thing that everybody's sort of worried about even before the year started, and then they got off to that solid, hot start, and then now it's like they're coming back down to earth. I mean, you feel comfortable when Sale's on the mound. You got to feel comfortable when Quintana's on the mound. But after that, man, I mean, Matt Latos became, he had a great, 3 or 4 starts there to start the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then since then, it's been completely downhill. Their bullpen was extremely solid in April, and now this month in May, they've been really bad. The timely hitting hasn't been coming, right now. So for me, if I'm the White Sox, and I know, I'm sure there's plenty of people, everybody that listens to this now, I think, obviously knows that the three of us are Cubs fans, and it makes it sound like, we sit here and feel comfortable about the Cubs even though they're on a slide, and I don't feel as comfortable with the White Sox just because the talent's not there, and the talent wasn't there to begin the year. So you got to be a little bit worried when all these other guys that you were expecting, solid things out of are sort of just, a lot of them are trailing off right now. I mean, Todd Frazier is going to give you pop and power, but he's not really hitting the ball all that well. He's either hitting home runs or striking out. So that'd be if I'm a White Sox fan, I'm concerned right now just because I think this is more the team of what they are than what the team was in April.
So the one thing I will say, as rough of a go as it's been lately for them, is Chris Sale is he the best pitcher in baseball right now?
Second best. I still stick with my order. I still go Kershaw, Sale, Arrieta.
I'll tell you though, 6 guys with a sub-2 ERA right now in Major League Baseball. 6 of them.
Does this still include Hamill?
No, Hamill's at 231.
Okay.
You're 6. Let's see, Ben. I'm gonna go to you because you're our baseball guy. Can you name 6 pitchers right now that are sub-2?
Arrieta.
He's number
Kershaw.
1. Number 3.
Sale.
2.
Quintana.
6.
Syndergaard.
4.
So I'm missing one more.
And I don't know that you'll get it.
All right.
The least well known of all the guys in this top 6.
Give me a team.
No, not American League or National League.
National League.
Jose Fernandez?
No.
I know who it is, and it's going to bother me.
9 starts, 46 innings pitched, 56 strikeouts. He's 4-4. It's on the West Coast.
4-4.
Say hello to Drew Pomeranz.
Pomeranz. Damn it.
Yeah.
I heard, and I feel like I heard this list earlier today too. So.
Also have to love the fact that at number 11 on this list is good old Rich Hill out in Oakland. He has pitched 50 innings, giving up 36 hits and 21 walks. So he's over 1 whip. His whip is over 1, but he's got a 2.49 ERA. I mean, it's
Rich Hill.
I've seen Rich Hill start more games than Rich Hill's pitched.
Yeah.
I swear to God, there was like this stretch in the mid-2000s where it was like anytime I go to a damn Cubs game I'd have to see fucking Rich Hill and his stupid left noodle arm.
And then right now in terms of WAR, Ben, you say you have Kershaw 1, Kershaw at a 2.8, Arrieta at a 2.7, Chris Sale 3.0. So that's pretty good stuff there. Chris Sale though has definitely become appointment viewing as far as if you're just a baseball fan, even as just a baseball fan.
I mean, to me, like people want to have the argument between Arrieta and Sale, and I'm not gonna tell you that if you have Arrieta ahead of Sale, like fine, it is what it is. But to me, it's Kershaw, Sale are like 1A, 1B, Arrieta's 2, and then there's like the rest of the list starts. Well, probably Syndergaard's up there now, but then there's after that. I don't think there's anybody else in that class that those guys are. I mean, especially what's Kershaw's walk to strike K to walk ratio is like 22 to 1.
88 strikeouts, 4 walks.
22 to 1. Wow.
The record is Ricky Nolasco with Minnesota is like it's like 11 to 1. So he's doubling that right now.
Let's see, walks. I mean, it's so you can't even sort this the other way because you have so many guys at 0 and 1 that have pitched nothing.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's there to me. There's nobody better as far as command than Kershaw right now. I mean, obviously, at this Sale's having probably a better stretch, barely. Obviously, based off those WAR numbers, but I mean, if you're gonna tell me I need to pick one guy, for a full season, I'm going Kershaw 10 times out of 10, and then number 2 would be Sale 10 times out of 10.
For sure. So, well, hopefully the Sox can get out of this funk because it's always good when both sides of town are enjoying baseball. And I will say, for the first time, and it feels like since in at least 5 or 6 years here, maybe more, the Sox and Cubs are going to play some baseball against each other this year. That is super, super meaningful.
You mean to tell me the BP Cup was not meaningful?
They're going to play some baseball that's super, super meaningful. So we'll just move on from that comment because that thing is such a freaking joke. Let's quickly hit the NHL playoffs. We're still rooting hard for St. Louis to get their asses just knocked out of this thing. And they're cooperating tonight, down 4-3 with 9 minutes to go against the Sharks. Are the Sharks your guys' adopted team here? That's kind of who I'm rooting for.
I kind of like Pittsburgh. Sorry, I kind of like Pittsburgh. I mean, in the grand, are you talking just in this series or
overall?
Yeah. I mean, overall, I kind of like Pittsburgh just because I do like Crosby. But San Jose, I'm okay with that as long as we've long said, as long as St. Louis doesn't get in, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm okay with anybody other than St. Louis. I prefer Pittsburgh, but I will tell you, man, if Tampa Bay can find a way to win it this year,
that's crazy.
Losing Bishop and Stamkos now. I mean,
and I mean, we talked about this when we did our playoff preview, and I picked Tampa, and you guys thought that was nuts, and I'm like, man, the road doesn't look hard. They could score without Stamkos, and
yeah, but here's my question: if I would have told you they lose Ben Bishop for essentially what might be 2 full series, are you still taking them?
Over, let's see, who did they play in the first round? They played Detroit. I still would have taken them over Detroit. Still would have taken them over the Islanders. Yes.
No way.
Yes. No. Vasilevsky's not a bad goalie.
You're lying.
No way. Are you telling me that Vasilevsky is that much better or worse, or that much worse than any of the other goalies that got trotted out in that half of the bracket? I mean,
I know absolutely nothing about him.
I know he won a game in the Stanley Cup final last year against the Hawks. I know he did that in relief. There's not a lot, I don't think the only other guy in the East that could claim that he's won a Stanley Cup final guy would be Luongo for Florida and Fleury for Pittsburgh. Otherwise, I don't think anybody else that started a game in the East has won a Stanley Cup playoff game. So when we picked it, I picked Tampa based more on that team as a whole over anything else, and they're still doing it. I will say I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they can close out Pittsburgh tomorrow, I believe, Tuesday. But if they do, it's quite impressive. Without Stamkos, without Bishop, I mean, I will say, I mean, the Hawks in the East, I feel like they would have cruised through some of those teams. The East is always just. I feel like the East has never really been all that great in the past few years. I feel like it's always kind of been a crapshoot, but maybe I'm just having observation bias at this point. So, any other thoughts on hockey?
No.
Nothing. NBA playoffs. Draymond Green, did he get did he get suspended yet or no?
He got it got switched to a flagrant 2. So I don't know what that means.
Which should be an automatic suspension, isn't it?
I don't know, but I don't know if that's only if it happens in game. I don't know. I don't think the NBA. I don't think knows.
I think a flagrant 2 is an automatic suspension.
Not suspended.
Oh, that's lame.
Let's see what we got here. The NBA elected not to suspend him. It was upgraded from a flagrant 1 to flagrant 2. $25,000 fine. No suspension. He now has 3 flagrant fouls in the postseason.
But I don't remember what's the ruling on that. Like, what do you have to have X amount to?
Yeah, so four flagrant foul points.
Just in the playoffs?
Yes, and that'll garner you a suspension.
Boy, I tell you what, I didn't realize this here on Monday night. Cleveland and Toronto. This is a game. Here it's 89-88 Toronto with the lead right now. So this is a thing. I mean, as much as we all thought it was going to be super easy for Cleveland, and obviously after those first 2 games it seemed really obvious that it was going to be easy, and then Toronto came out and got that win the other night at home, and like they always say, it's not a series until somebody loses at home. So, it's not over until the team loses at home. So, I don't know.
LeBron James just tossed an alley-oop to Richard Jefferson.
Yeah, and Channing Frye just hit 2 3-pointers. Yeah,
Channing Frye, 12 points on 4 or 5 from downtown. Yeah, because of course he does.
Like it's crazy. Yeah, they're just showing his stats right now. I mean, it's crazy that Channing Frye's even having an impact on a playoff game in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I like that Timothy Mozgov has not broken a sweat in this game at all.
Does
he even play anymore?
No. Tyronn Lue runs small ball essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron plays the 5 a little bit in this offense, which is unbelievable to me.
Well, pretty much with LeBron, he can do whatever. I'm comfortable with whatever.
For sure. So, quite the second half here. Cleveland trailed by 18. They've now cut it to a 3-point game since being down 18 with 9 seconds left in the first half. So there you go. That's where it's at right now. So refresh the predictions here. Cleveland out of the East still, regardless of what happens tonight.
Yeah, I still think honestly, I thought they'd probably get this thing done in 5. I think it could still happen, but I still feel pretty I can't, go against LeBron in this situation. What would this be? 6 straight finals for him?
4 with the Heat and then 2 with Cleveland. Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's unbelievable.
It is. It really is. And people are going to tell you he's not. I hate the LeBron Jordan comparisons, anyways, just because I think it's too tough to make that comparison. But
he's not. He's number 2.
But yeah, if you want to sit here and tell me that LeBron isn't one of the best players to ever play the game, then you're simply wearing rose-colored glasses and you can't see past things. So,
he's one of the 5 best players to ever play the game,
without a doubt.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Top 5. And if you're making a 5 and it doesn't have your 5 has to include Jordan, LeBron, Russell. You have to have those 3 in your 5, and I don't care where you put them in your 5. But those 3 have to be in your 5. If you don't have those 3 in your 5, you don't have a list.
There we go.
Oh my God, LeBron just doing LeBron things.
He's so fun to watch, and people, and this is something we've touched on before. The 3 of us, we all agree that I love watching him play. Absolutely love it. The way he did the whole, the decision
The
thing.
decision was terrible.
It is what it is. And he's said before he regretted the way that it went down. But whatever. I love watching him. Good for him.
All right, so we got Cleveland, and then out of the West, Ben, your prediction out of the West.
I mean, I still think ultimately it's going to be Golden State, but I'm still pulling for Oklahoma City hard. I mean,
Okay.
I want to see them. I want to see those two, Russell and Durant, together win something. I'd like to see them stay together in Oklahoma City. So
They will go down as one of the biggest non-title champions ever if they don't win something.
yeah, I agree.
And then Matt, who's your pick here?
I'm still leaning Golden State, but man, when Oklahoma City's on, they're damn good. I was not expecting that yesterday at all. Sunday night, I was not expecting that outcome. I sort of thought that Golden State had found it again, whatever you want to say. So I'm still leaning towards them. I have a hard time looking past.
Did you see Steph Curry's elbow?
Yeah, it looked like he had like a.
Looks like he's got like yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I mean that can't be good.
No,
obviously you wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think so at all. I'm gonna say I think Golden State's gonna take this thing in 6. To be honest, I really do. I like that team a lot. I like the way they're constructed. You don't win 73 games by accident.
Yeah.
And I think they win Game 4. They go home. They win Game 5. I can't foresee a scenario. I mean, in order for Oklahoma City to win this series, I mean, they don't have to win another game in Golden State, but it just seems hard to believe that they won't win another game, or they're gonna go perfect in Oklahoma City, and then
they don't have to win in Golden State, but they also have to not lose at home.
Right, and I just don't. Harder. Yeah, I just don't see that happening. So it'll be interesting. All right, and now on to close it out here, Ben. You did some work today, I understand. You did some real work. 15 solid minutes, and I love on the notes here that Mucinex has made the roster. So go ahead and discuss this, Ben. I want to hear what knowledge you have to impart on us about the USA national team and the Copa America.
I will say, I wish we had like some sort of musical intro of something that was like Ben's Soccer Hour. Dun dun dun.
Oh, there it is.
It'd be a really short hour.
Ben's Soccer Minute. Ben's football. Ben's football minute.
So I don't even know how to pronounce. How do you pronounce his name? Pulisic. Pulisic. So that's the 17.
I'm trusting Scott because Scott's terrible with names.
I am.
Well, the young kid, the 17-year-old, made the 23-man roster. From what it sounds like, he's probably not going to play very much, but at least he made it. The one thing that I read that, again, in my expert opinion of 15 minutes of research during my lunch break, Jordan Morris was a big snub, especially because they chose somebody that goes by the nickname Wando. I don't know who that is.
Wondolowski.
Yeah, Chris Wondolowski. The one who missed a goal against, who was that, Belgium? Didn't he have that wide open one again in the World Cup and completely whiffed on it?
By the way, the Sharks just scored the empty net, so they are up 3-2. So
awesome. So I could be wrong, but I think missing open goals is probably bad. You probably want to make those. And everything that I've read was this Jordan Morris, pretty solid player. He's also 21, so seemingly probably one of your future leaders on the U.S. men's national team. Another thing that I read, again, just in my quick studies, was is there somebody named Fabian Johnson?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so sounds like he's going to be playing defense, which is not his best position. I guess he's better. I don't know if he's a midfielder or a forward, but they think he should be playing up there rather than defense. But because your boy Jurgen Klinsmann,
not my boy. Don't call him my boy.
Decided not to. And again, phrases and words I might use could be incorrect, but is there a left backer defenseman?
Mhm.
Okay, so he chose not to get any of those guys on the roster. So seemingly it's this Fabian Johnson and some other guy that I don't remember his name. Timmy Chandler.
Okay.
Are going to be your left backer, and they both apparently stink. So at left backer. So
Okay.
there you go.
That's some solid analysis.
It was.
You know what I want to look up right now while we're talking U.S. soccer? I want to see if they have odds.
And also
What? Did we lose Ben?
We may have.
Oh, he's muted. Ben's muted. Unmute Ben.
Well,
Go ahead, Ben.
can you hear me?
We can hear you. Wow, you didn't get
All right.
kicked out. That's great.
Yeah. When did Dempsey's first name become Clint?
It's always been Clint.
always.
Is there a Nate Dempsey that I'm missing somewhere?
I don't believe so.
Son of a bitch.
As far as I know, he's always been Clint Dempsey.
Nate Dempsey. Why do I know that name?
I don't know. I will say one of my soccer thoughts on this. Brad Guzan or Guzan, I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce the goalkeeper's
Let's
last
go with
name.
Guzan.
Little surprised that he's getting the nod in goal over Timmy Howard because
Timmy Howard's been bad.
Yeah, Timmy Howard's been bad, but Guzan's was really bad at Aston Villa this year.
Aston Villa was an absolute dumpster fire.
And they got relegated. So
They did. They didn't just get relegated. They got relegated like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah. And
they had 18 points in the standings, and I believe Newcastle, which was the last team relegated, they ended up with like 34. So it wasn't even close.
And another name I want to throw out there for Ben, since I know he was a Josie Altidore guy. Altidore is going to be out for the Copa, which is disappointing. But a name for you, Ben, the guy you should hitch your wagons to is Mr. Bobby Wood. Bobby's going to be playing Altidore's spot. He played in the friendly on Sunday. He had a really nice game. His goal was really good. He carried 2 defenders and still scored. So that should be your guy, Ben. Bobby Wood. Bobby Wood or DeAndre Yedlin. Yedlin had a really good game too, and then the other guy, this guy named Areola, had a really good game in the friendly, but he's not on the Copa final roster. So
All right, just to give you a little Aston Villa information. 17 points on the year. So you get 3 for a win, for those of you that are listening that don't know soccer. They had 3 wins, 8 draws. The next lowest win total in the EPL was 9. So they had 6 less wins than everybody else. They had 17, not 18 points, so they're even worse than I thought. Newcastle was a little better. They had 37 and were relegated. So they were 22 points below the 17th place team, Sunderland.
yeah, that's
So also they only
Did
scored.
Areola make the team?
no. He was up for the friendly because they didn't play a lot of the top guys, like Dempsey, Bradley, a couple other guys didn't play.
Did
So-
Pulisic play?
No. I don't even think he was there.
But he made it.
Probably at finals.
And I'm thinking he made it more out of Klinsmann just didn't want to hear it from. That feels a bit like a move from somebody that's not him. I'm also just going to say this about Ben. I feel like this is a rule you should understand for soccer, and I think you'll love it. If you score as many goals as you have losses, that's a bad year. 27 losses, 27 goals for Aston Villa.
Jeez. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's horrendous. And it's even worse when you give up 76.
Oof, yeah, that's not good.
That is a
goal-
very bad difference.
And that's our starting goalie.
A goal differential of 49.
Yeah.
The next lowest team in the league, 28.
And that's USA's goalie. We're going to lose to Costa Rica by 10.
I don't think so. Well, here you go. So the bookmakers have the odds, and the USA 6.5 to 1 to win the whole thing.
Wow. I'm guessing who's the favorite? Is it
Brazil.
It is not Brazil.
No.
Brazil 5 to 1.
Wait. Okay. So it's only teams in the Americas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Canada.
Canada is not even playing in the tournament.
They're in the Americas.
They didn't qualify. There's a lot of teams in the Americas, Ben.
Venezuela.
No, Venezuela is 66-1.
Oh,
Argentina.
Yeah, it's Argentina. 2-1 for Argentina.
Yeah, I really wish the U.S. played Argentina, but I also know they would probably get their asses kicked. But it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see. Well, I mean, they could play each other.
They could play each other, and that game very well could be in Chicago in the semifinals. Just so you're aware.
All right, add it to the list.
Yeah, which means we'd be going to another game, hopefully. Yeah, Argentina 2-1, Brazil 5-1, USA 6.5-1, Mexico 8-1. Costa Rica, who we're gonna go see them play, 33-1.
We're 6.5-1.
Yeah, and your longest shot. Any guesses on the longest shot in this tournament?
Well, I don't know. Canada.
No, they're very long considering they're not even in it, so that's fair. But longest shot of a team that's in it.
Jamaica.
Close, Matt. 200-1 on Jamaica, but there's one worse.
Uruguay.
No, the tiny island nation of Haiti. The Haitians.
I didn't even realize Haiti was in it.
The Haitians are 500-1.
Oh man! All right.
You like that?
I don't know how soccer is. Take the bet.
You never know. I mean, it could be Leicester City all over again. USA also 1.25-1 to win their group. Costa Rica third at 5-1. Colombia will be the big challengers at 1.5-1. In the group. Paraguay, the longest odds. Haiti, of course, is in the group with Brazil, Ecuador, and Peru. So that's not going to be bad. But I'm still thinking that the worst of all this could be Argentina when they play Bolivia in group action. So
yeah,
should be fun. The U.S. though, if you're the U.S. and you're a real soccer team, you have to get out of the group stage in your home country. You have to do it. Just has to happen. No disagreement there, correct?
Sure.
All right, Ben. So now that you've had another week to prepare, did you buy those fairy wings?
I did not. I feel like Matt can't hear us.
No, I can hear you.
Oh. He's kind of like looking aimlessly.
So I keep looking at the TV and back and forth. Sorry.
Ben, what have you decided on your attire for the day yet?
Yeah, I will be wearing a USA T-shirt.
Okay.
And shorts.
Very good.
Not USA shorts, just regular shorts.
Okay. And Matt, you're gonna wear some Stars and Stripes board shorts, I believe.
Yeah, I got some Stars and Stripes shorts. I got a Team USA T-shirt. Got a pin that says I'm proud to be an American. I think that's it. Unless I can find a bandana or something to rock.
I got one for you.
And I got my American flag too.
I got a bandana for you, Matt.
Oh, okay.
So you got that. I am going with a USA T-shirt, some blue athletic shorts. I'm going to be rocking some high Stars and Stripes socks.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. That's where I'm going. So that's my plan as of right now. Ben hates both of us a ton right now, Matt. I hope you know that. You just see the disdain in his face.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Closing thoughts.
He hates us, but it has nothing to do with this game.
Closing thoughts.
My closing thought is I hope the Cubs figure out how to beat the Cardinals here. So.
Well, they got men on the corners against Rosenthal, so with one out. So Ben, this is the spot that you say they got to get better with, right? Man on third, less than 2. Got to get them in here. Got to do it.
Especially, is it Rizzo up?
I think it is. I think it's Rizzo. Let's see here. It is. It's Rizzo. Rizzo's got to come through. Maybe Rizzo lays down the bunt here. That'd be something.
Well, they won't be playing a shift.
No, they're not playing a shift, so he should. So maybe don't bunt because he can poke it through the right side. So, Ben, closing thought?
Not really. Let Cubs figure it out. That's basically it.
All right. Go USA. That's what I got to say. Next week, we're going to try to find some time to do the weekly. It probably won't be on Memorial Day, so be sure to check the Facebook page to see when we will be releasing our weekly broadcast. And then 2 weeks from now, we won't be doing a broadcast. We might try for one late in the week, though, to kind of recap our experience at the Copa America. We'll see if we can find the time for that. But until then, I'm Scott Sternal. That was Ben Russo and Matt Urich. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, and all the other great places that you can download our podcasts. Thanks for listening.